This video is brought to you by REP Gaming Products. Help protect your deck and support the show by picking up a steel deck box from the link down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Brew About Nothing. So last week, we had Guilds Week with our instant deck tags, featuring a different deck built around one of the Guilds of Ravnica guilds, and in the end, it was Risky Izzet Wizards that came out on top. So today, we are heading to Guilds of Ravnica Standard to see if we can get aggressive with some wizards and also put risk factor to the test, see how good it actually is. So like usual, gonna do a super quick 2-minute deck tech, just to kind of refresh you on how the deck works. If you want a full breakdown on Risky Izzet Wizards, make sure to follow the link down below to the instant deck tech where we talk at length about the deck. Anyway, a quick reminder before we break down Risky Izzet Wizards for Standard. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy Much Brew in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Risky Izzet Wizards, starting with kind of our big wizard payoff, which is Adliz the Cinderwind. Not just a hasty attacker, but whenever we cast an instant or sorcery, we get to pump all of our wizards +1/+1 until end of turn. So we're looking to play Adliz, play hopefully some wizards, and then cast a bunch of spells in the same turn to make our wizards super huge and hopefully just kill our opponent. To go along with Adliz, we have We Dragonauts, which is pretty crazy in the air. It gets +2/+0 whenever we cast an instant or sorcery by itself. If we have Adliz as well, it's getting another +1/+1. So that means it gets really massive as we cast spells. If we have both of these cards out, we have a lot of damage coming across in the air. We also have Get to Lava Runner, just a 1-drop wizard, turns into a goblin guy pretty quickly as we get spells in our graveyard. And Goblin Electromancer, not super aggressive, but it helps with the Adliz We Dragonauts plan because reducing the cost of our instants and sorceries allows us to cast a bunch of them in the same turn, get tons of Adliz triggers, tons of We Dragonaut triggers, and hopefully just kill our opponent. So as far as spells, the big one is Risk Factor, which can be a ton of damage, can be a ton of card draw, but for any of it to matter, we gotta have a fast clock. So the idea of the deck is we will pressure with our wizards and put our opponent in a position where they have to make a really hard choice. With Risk Factor, if they take 4 damage, they might die to our wizards or our other spells. If they let us draw 3 cards, then we're drawing more wizards and more spells to trigger our Adliz. So by attacking our opponent and being super aggressive, we can reduce our opponent's ability to actually make a choice with Risk Factor. Otherwise, we got a ton of cheap card draw spells. Radical Idea, Chart of Course, Opt, all ways that we can churn through our deck, trigger Adliz, trigger our We Dragonauts, find more cards to get more wizards and more card draw spells, and pump our team to hopefully close out the game. Radical Idea is especially sweet since we can cast it once and then jumpstart it to cast it again. If we got Electromancer, just 1 mana each time, getting us a ton of wizard triggers. Wizard's Lightning gives us a bit of removal, a bit of burn for our opponent's face. Arclight Phoenix, our one non-wizard creature, hopefully coming back from the graveyard when we cast a bunch of spells in a turn, giving us some more hasty flying damage. Mana base wise, a bunch of dual lands, some basic lands. In the sideboard for control, we get 4 negates, couple of Firemind's Research for repeatable card advantage, Experimental Frenzy to play through our deck, Beacon Bolt to deal with big creatures like Lyras and some of the green things in the format, Crackly Drake as a kind of more resilient threat, 4 toughness, draws the card when it enters, and that is Risky Izzet Wizards for Standard, and that's our Much Brew deck for this week. So we're gonna jump into a league, see how this deck actually works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. All right, Much Brew About Nothing time. We are playing some Risky Izzet Wizard. Risk Factor, we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. If there was ever a deck to make Risk Factor good, probably this one. This seems like the deck for Risk Factor. So let's see how good Risk Factor actually is. In this hand, it looks fine. I mean, it's not super aggressive, but we got a lot of card draw and a creature. We'll keep it. Good enough. No Risk Factor. Well, let's see how this goes. Mountain for our opponent. Ooh, Lava Runner. Opponent staying aggressive. Well, Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. So many Lava Runners. Gets in. Down to 19. There's a Risk Factor. I'll play the Mountain. Play Electromancer. Hope for no removal. Shock. Wizard's Lightning. Yeah, that also works. Opponent gets in for 2. More lands. Well, playing the island, pass the turn. I think we got to start killing things, unfortunately. Opponent finds a land. Goes attacking. Well, kill a lava runner. The expensive way. Take one. We have 0 creatures. Dismissive Pyromancer. Holy lands. Well, let's chart a course. Discard a land. Play lava runner. Play Sulfur Falls. Pass the turn. No attacks. I don't think we can go aggro here. Pyromancer does let our opponent start looting. I think they're playing the mono-red Experimental Frenzy deck. Dismissive Pyromancer, usually a sign of Experimental Frenzy. I mean, we can draw a couple cards with Radical Idea. Risk Factor, we haven't got on enough pressure for our opponent to let us draw with it at this point. Opponent's really thinking over their options. Jeez, more Wizard's Lightnings. Alright. So many Wizard's Lightnings. That's not good. Opponent gets in, hits us. Man. Well, I mean, I guess we're playing a very sad defensive Arclight Phoenix. Jeez, that's not good. Pass the turn. You want to be attacking with Arclight. We're just so far behind in terms of the damage race that we can't keep doing it. Opponent. Well, alright, we will kill Dismissive Pyromancer. Drop to 10. Steamkin. Untap. Oh, I wish we could. Huh. There's not really a way. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we can't get back Arclight. I guess we could Radical Idea and see what we hit. Yeah, let's Radical Idea. Land. I'll play the land. Pass the turn. Now we're going to have to Wizard's Lightning Steamkin. Where's all of our wizards? Another Steamkin. Well, kill the Steamkin. Yeah, now we're going to... Now we're going to get to see the nightmare scenario of Risk Factor, which is it just doing nothing. Opponent gets in. Down to 8. Yeah, without enough pressure, Risk Factor is so bad. Well, play Arclight Phoenix on defense. Pass the turn. Chain Whirler pumps the Steamkin. Yep. Pings down to 7. Opponent gets in. So we will block, drop to 5. We're going to need some good running here. Radical Idea. Discard the land. Good God. We have also just flooded insanely. Play Electromancer. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a lot of lands. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we need to Risk Factor. Opponent takes damage because why not? Yeah, Risk Factor, it's good when you are pressuring, but we just got off so far on the back foot that Risk Factor is, I mean, it's basically just a dead card here. I mean, we can do it again, but it doesn't really do anything. Like, sure, we did 8 to our opponent, but then we lose, and our opponent was at 20, so they have no qualms with taking 8. We drop to 2. Opponent. Land. Passes. Wow. All right. Scoop him up. That was really weird running for our deck, I feel like. I mean, we drew a ton of lands. We did not draw any of these spells. If we had drawn one of these, it would have really changed the complexion of that game. So we just started off way too far on the back foot for our Risk Factor to really do anything. And we just didn't really find... Yeah, that was just awkward. Very, very awkward. Well, against this deck, opponent's going aggro. What do we want to do? Opponent plays a playset of Lava Coil. So bringing in Cackling Drake doesn't seem that helpful. Beacon Bolt is more removal, although it's not particularly great removal. We really want to be the aggressor. Like, that's our number one goal, is to actually be aggressive. Maybe we just change nothing. We don't really have any early game removal. Beacon Bolt is better at killing bigger things. Yeah, I mean, run it back. I think we got to be aggressive. Because Risk Factor is only good if you are very actively hitting your opponent's life total. And we just were not able to do that game. Even like a little. We just kind of... Well, hopefully it's good to see the bad of Risk Factor. But hopefully we get to see the good at some point. Assuming there is some good somewhere to be found. Alright. We have an Opt. We have an Electromancer and a Wizard's Lightning. Okay. I mean, we'll keep it. Opponent. In the tank. Well, play an island, pass the turn. Opponent, mountain, and passing. Well, let's Opt. I guess we'll keep an Opt. Untap. Play a mountain. Oh yeah, let's run out Electromancer. Pass the turn. Gives us the most upside if it sticks around. Opponent. So we really... Alright, there's a Lava Coil. Takes down Electromancer. Well, play Electromancer. Play Steam Vents. Untapped. Pass the turn. Mountain. Pyromancer. Yup. Down to 16. Ugh, Wizard's Lightning. Alright, well, we'll Wizard Lightning the Pyromancer. Opponent passes. Well, Steam Vent's tapped. Pass the turn. So once again, I mean, so I guess 4 damage here is not bad, but we're again in a position where we're not really pressuring our opponent. So they can pretty easily just take the damage. Yeah, I mean, we are going to risk factor. Opponent's going to take 4. Yep, opponent passes. Well, let's Opt. Mountain definitely to the bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent. Mountain. Do they have Experimental Frenzy? That's their best card. Opponent, thinking things over. That might mean they have Experimental Frenzy and they're trying to figure out if it's worth it to not cast the cards in their hand. Alright, opponent goes to combat. Well, let's kill Chain Whirler. Yep. Opponent. Rekindling Phoenix. Play an island. Play Dragonauts. Pass the turn. Rekindling Phoenix is an issue. Opponent gets it. Yep. Hits us. Down to 11. Runaway Steam Kid. Dismissive Pyromancer. Alright. Well, play Atlas. Play Radical Idea. Draw a card. Go attacking. Oh, we're going to end up just short. If our opponent has a burn spell, we're just dead. Hit our opponent down to 9. Oh, so close! We needed this a little earlier. Now this is where Risk Factor can actually be a real card. Lava Runner, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's game. All right. Well, so far, so bad for Risky Wizards. Risk Factor in specific, good God. If you do not get off, maybe we just have to be the aggressor, even if it's likely a losing line. Like, maybe this deck just has to always take the aggressive role, even in a matchup where it feels like we probably don't win going that direction, because Risk Factor is just incredibly bad if you're not in that position. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are playing some risky Izzet Wizards in standard, and we'll keep this. This hand looks pretty fine. Lava Runner, ways to grow our Lava Runner. All right, opponent's playing control by the looks. Well, this might be a matchup where our Risk Factor is actually going to be good. Looks like Esper control. All right, opponent passes. Well, get in with Lava Runner. Hit our opponent. All right, Moment of Craving. Well, play the island, and let's just chart a course. Phew, land. Well, we can discard some of those to Radical Idea at some point. Opponent, passing. Now, play the mountain. Play Lava Runner. Radical Idea. More lands. Well, get in with Lava Runner. All right, opponent's got a cast down. Opponent's down to 2 cards, but they're getting close to the Teferi part of the game. Watery Grave, untapped. So probably like a Vraska's Contempt. Opt. Well, play Electromancer. All right, opponent's got a counter. Well, if they can untap and play Teferi, we are in all kinds of bad shape. Opponent, Field of Ruin. All right, no Teferi yet. Well, definitely discarding a land to draw a new card. All right, we Dragonauts. More lands. Well, play Sulphur Falls. Play Dragonauts. Pass the turn. We haven't dealt a single point of damage here on turn 5. All right, opponent's going to Field of Ruin. Well, that gets another land out of our deck, which is good, because we really would love to stop drawing lands. Opponent. Passing. Well, play a mountain. Play Arclight Phoenix. Opponent's got a Syncopate. We cannot pay. Well, let's opt. Definitely do not want more lands. All right, Lava Runner. Play Lava Runner. Go attacking. Hit our opponent for 5. All right, so damage is good. We're getting to the point where risk factor could be a good draw. Jeez, Ritual of Soot. All right, come on, card draw. Well, another Dragonauts. Pass the turn. Drown Catacombs. Opponent passing. Risk factor. Even more lands. Well, get in with Dragonauts. Man, we might as well Wizard's Lightning. Opponent down to 12. Pass the turn. Or down to 9. Opponent passing. Electromancer. Well, get in with Dragonauts. Opponent down to 8. So this is where risk factor is super threatening if we can draw a copy. Play Electromancer. Pass the turn. Moment of Craving. Back up to 10. Opponent passing. Well, Atlas. No spells, unfortunately. Sinister Sabotage. Opponent mills a land. Now get in. Hit our opponent to 9. What we would give for a card draw spell. Oh my god. What we would give for a risk factor. Evolving Wilds. Opponent passes. Alright, there's a risk factor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Syncopate can still get it. Well, play the island. Go to combat. Attack. See if this risk factor comes through. Opponent. Alright. Let's risk factor. Pump Dragonauts. They really do have Syncopate? Oh, they really do have Syncopate. Jeez. Opponent has just had every single perfect answer. Well, opponent down to 6. Yeah, alright. Let's hope they don't draw it. Opponent cracks. Well, card draw risk factors. That's what we're looking for. Opponent found their Teferi. There's the Teferi. Draws a card. Man. Oh, this has been brutal. Opponent's going to untap some lands. Man, things have just not lined up for us. Wizard's Lightning. Well, go to combat. We got to go for it. I mean, our opponent probably drew like Vraska's Contempt, but attack our opponent. Wizard's Lightning. Pump. Resolves. Oh, we got there. Oh my goodness, that was close. That was close. Our risk factor almost came through. It did not quite come through, but it almost did. Well, bring in Firemind's Research. Bring in Negates. What do we cut is a better question. Maybe we go down Arclight Phoenix? The recursiveness seems good, but with Syncopates and Vraska's Contempt, how good is it really? Experimental Frenzy also seems good. Crackling Drake also seems good. Maybe we go down Electromancers. Go down... What else can we cut? I almost think it's Adliz. Adliz dies to Moment of Craving too. We're kind of transforming into this weird Drake deck. We're losing a lot of our explosiveness. Yeah, let's go down Arclight Phoenix. Let's try it like that. This is kind of a weird sideboarding plan. Alright, well, we got a lot of risk factors. We'll keep it. This hand seems fine. In this matchup, our opponent taking 4, that's a lot of damage for our opponent. Mountain, we are going to need to draw a land or 2. Lava Runner, go. Opponent. Watery Grave. Untapped. Well, that's good news. Opponent passes. I'll play the land, get in with Lava Runner. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Alright, there's a cast down. Yup. Glacial Fortress. Opponent passing. Well, let's opt. Keeping Steam Vents for sure. We do want to land here. Untap. Play Sulfur Falls. And let's just Dragonauts. Alright, there's Sabotage. Opponent leaves it on top. Alright, opponent's down to 4 cards. Drown Catacombs. Search for his Kanta. Yup. Opponent passing. Well, play Steam Vents. Untapped. Run out Crackling Drake. Opponent's got Essence Scatter. Alright, opponent's down to 2 cards, but they do have this as Kanta. Hopefully they do not also have Teferi. That would be very bad news. Mills a land. Opponent. Wow, Mills a land misses their land drop? Well, let's pass the turn as Kanta. Mills the land. Plays the land. Well, risk factor. Opponent negates. Alright, they're going to flip their Iskanta. Well, play Crackling Drake. Jeez. All the counters in the world. Alright, opponent's down to 1 card, but Iskanta will be active. Mills a land, so Iskanta flips. This Iskanta. That's bad news for us. So Iskanta leaves it on top, transforms. Oh, it's Teferi. Oh, dear. Vana? Well, that's also very, very bad. Oh, play Lava Runner. Go attacking. Opponent takes it. Play Dragonauts. I don't think we can beat a Vana. We did not bring in removal for Vana. Maybe we should have. Opponent gets in. Gains back a ton of life. Yeah, it's just too much damage for us to fight through. Opponent goes back up to 19. Has Vraska's Contempt. Up to 21. I'll play the land. Go attacking. Yeah, this just completely outdoes. Yeah. Huh. Alright, pass the turn. I don't know how we beat Ivana. I guess we gotta draw another, like, Wizard's Lightning. Opponent gets in. Like, now they can never... Yeah. I mean, now they can always take damage from this risk factor because they're gaining for a turn. It's basically like a Lyra, essentially. Roughly the same level of unbeatableness. Not a card you really expect, but maybe Vana's going to be a thing now. Opponent. More counters. So many counters. So I guess we could top deck Wizard's Lightning to kill Vana. Leaves it on top. We do not. And, yeah, alright, scoop it up. We're not going to be able to beat that Vana, ever. Alright. Well, we're on the play here for game number 3. Do we want to try to beat Vana? Man, so many counters, so many Vraska's Contempts. We really, Firemind's Research seems like probably our best card. Huh. I mean, we can bring in, like, a Beacon Bolt. Maybe we gotta keep the Phoenixes. Crackling Drake did not seem good there. It just got countered. It just got countered every time. We never really got any bit of value out of it. If our opponent's just gonna Sinister Sabotage, then Arclight Phoenix is better. Alright, we're on the play. Well, alright. This hand's fine-ish. We do have a risk factor. We got a bit of pressure. Hopefully some card draw with this chart, of course. So, Seam Vents. Untapped. Get down our Lava Runner. Pass the turn. Opponent. Evolving Wilds. Yup. We'll play Sulfur Falls. Get in with Lava Runner. Hit our opponent. Down to 19. Chart, of course. Opponent cracks. Grabs an island. Ooh. Experimental Frenzy. Okay. Drowned Catacombs. Opponent. Passing. Well, go to combat. Get in with Lava Runner. Wizard's Lightning. Hit our opponent. Down to 14. Play an island and chart a course. Pass the turn. Alright, we're off to a good aggro start. Opponent's down to 14. We have some card draw in hand. Watery Grave tapped. Yup. Opponent passes. Well, play the Mountain Goblin Guide. Probably better known as Lava Runner. Go to combat, attack. Hit our opponent down to 10. Pass the turn. Looking for windows to resolve risk factor now. Like if our opponent has to Ritual of Soot here. Yup. Alright, so now we risk factor. Opponent lets us draw. Okay. And passes. Well, play Lava Runner. Play land. Get in with Lava Runner. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Anything except Vana is fine here. Land. Alright, Teferi's fine. We get to negate Teferi. Opponent. Passing. Well, Steam Vents, untapped. Arclight Phoenix. And now our risk factors are going to be draw 3s for the rest of the game. Down to 3. And that's assuming our opponent finds a way to stabilize here. Vana no longer does it because of Arclight Phoenix, and that's Risky Wizards doing its thing. Opponent. Tapping, untapping. Land. Chemister's Insight, sure. Game? Risky Wizards? Opponent scoops it up, taking down Esper Control, and that was a pretty good performance from Risky Wizards. That is the good of Risk Factor, where it just provides this inevitability. Sitting in our graveyard, our opponents just kind of in trouble no matter what they choose. And so we've seen the bad sub games, but we see the good, and the good is really, really good. I have been in the control seat in these matchups, and Risk Factor is the scariest card in your opponent's deck, and the card you want to see least in your opponent's deck, because it represents 4 damage twice, or so many cards, and when you let them draw the cards, you're like, oh my god, I know they're going to hit more damage, they're going to hit more hasty threats. Well, that was our deck kind of functioning at full power. That was pretty sweet. Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Risky Wizards, and speaking of risky, this keep would just be too risky. If we had one more land, we'd snap it off. Alright. Well, we'll keep this. We get a Scry. We have a 1-drop. We'll keep Wizard's Lightning. So let's just land in Lava Runner. Pass the turn, see what our opponent's up to. Alright, Selesnya. So this is going to be primarily about us being aggressive. Hit our opponent for 1. Selesnya, this most likely means tokens. Tap land for our opponent. Hunted Witness. So let's see how good Adeliz. Ooh, handled. Well, alright. Let's just get down Adeliz. Go attacking. Do we want to give them the lifelink token? Let's not. Let's just get it with Adeliz. Hit our opponent down to 7. Clifftop Retreat. Marshall. Oh, okay. Marshall. Opponent. Passing. Well, let's opt. Pump our dorks. Arclight Phoenix to the bottom. Play the island. Go to combat. Attack with both. Oh boy. We can't win here, can we? 6? 6 plus 5 is 11. This gets plus 3 plus 3 is 12, 13, 14? Huh. So Wizard's Lightning hit a Marshall. Pump Adeliz. Pump Lava Runner. We don't want our opponent to start making tokens next turn. So hit our opponent for 8. Play Electromancer. Pass the turn. Now this is where Risk Factor is just absurdly good. It is so insane. So let's hope we draw a Risk Factor, because it would be so good. Another Hunted Witness. Sacred Foundry tapped. Opponent. No attacks. Alright. Land. Well, go to combat. Attack with everything. Yeah, attack with everything. See how our opponent blocks. If they try to do any double blocking, we get to blow them out pretty good. Blocks. Let's kill the Marshall. Pump the dorks. Opponent gets a couple of 1/1s. And we'll pass. Is this a sad little March of the Multitudes? It's a sad little March of the Multitudes. For 1, follow up. Ooh, well, that's not good. Benelish Marshall. Opponent gains 6. Well, we really need to draw a spell here. We could be in trouble. Down to 14. It's a land. Well, pass the turn. Oh, man, we needed any spell in our deck, but we did not draw a spell. Conclave Tribunal. Going to get rid of Adeliz. Opponent goes attacking. Yeah, we're going to lose. Man, we got off to such a good start, too. That was a bad time to fizzle with our draws. Block. Now Risk Factor is the worst card in our deck. Play Electromancer. Play Sulfur Falls. Pass the turn. Man, we were so close to closing that out, but the lifelink tokens, pretty relevant that all your dorks randomly have lifelink. Opponent goes attacking. I mean, we'll block the token. We're throwing away real creatures on tokens, which is not good. Opponent's all the way back up to 20. Please don't draw Risk Factor. Arclight Phoenix. Well, play Arclight Phoenix. And I guess we stay on defense. Yikes, that was brutal. Opponent. Sacred Foundry untapped for Trostani Discordant. And yeah, that does it. Whoo, boy! Oh boy. Well, I'm not sure if this is a rough matchup, or if we misplayed, or if that was bad running, but that did not work even a little, and we don't have anything for this deck. We have pretty much literally nothing. March of the Multitudes is unbeatable. I mean, we can bring in Negates, but then Negates doesn't hit anything else the deck is doing. So it's good only against March of the Multitudes. Beacon Bolt can take down slightly bigger creatures, but doesn't really help with the tokens. I think we really just got to be aggressive. I think that's our way of winning, is just to out-aggressive our opponent. They shouldn't have that much removal, although they might have more now after sideboarding. Like, go down a Radical Idea and an Opt for a couple of Beacon Bolts and just run it like that. We just gotta hope that we can kill our opponent before they get their big lifelink stuff online. That's one we're gonna have to look back on. It's possible we did something wrong there. 5 lands. This hand is just, it's not aggressive enough. We gotta ship it. I guess we mulliganed last game as well. Alright, we'll try this. I guess we'll keep the Mountain. So Steam Vents, untapped, play Lava Runner, pass the turn. Plains for our opponent, passes. Well, get in with Lava Runner, hit our opponent. Play an island, pass the turn. Sun Petal Grove, Knight of Grace, okay. Well, play the land, run out Atlas. Go attacking. Opponent down to 17. Do they have an answer for Atlas? Opponent, getting in. We take it. Ooh, opponent passes. Well, play an Opt, pump the Dork. Wizard's Lightning to the top. Play a Mountain, go attacking. Wizard's Lightning our opponent. Pump the Dorks. Wizard's Lightning our opponent. Pump the Dorks. Opponent down to 1. Pass the turn. And risk factor in hand. Opponent not giving up. Not attacking. Opponent passes. Well, risk factor. Draw 3, pump. Risk factor at its best with the opponent at 1 life. Play Lava Runner. And opponent. Yep. Well, opponent missed their land drop, but that was a fast punishing hand for our deck. That's what our deck wants to be doing. All right, run it back. Run it back, run it back. Stay aggressive, keep attacking before they get their lifelinkers going. That is our plan, that is our hope. Little slower than we were hoping. But I don't think we can just ship it. Sacred Foundry, untapped. And lifelink Dork. Opponent passes. Well, Steam Vents, untapped. Pass the turn. All this lifelink. Opponent, Clifftop Retreat. Gets in with the Vampire. Up to 19. Yep. Marshall. Oh no. Oh boy. Another Legion's Landing. We Dragonauts does not help us here. Neither does Radical Idea. And opponent's got their Dream Draw. 3 creatures on turn 2. Wizard's Lightning can't come down. And yeah. We do not have an answer for this. We do not have an answer. I think maybe the sideboard of this deck should have some number of fiery cannonades, because it feels like we are drawing dead to the token deck. Our odds of winning this matchup is so ridiculously low, especially with starts like this. This is just, whew, what a start for the opponent. That's the hand you're looking for. Triple 1-drops on turn 2. Follows it up with a History of Benalia. Yeah. Ain't no coming back from this, boys and girls. Ain't no coming back from this. All right, we draw a card. Opponent makes a knight. And they're just ending turn 3 with an absurd amount of tokens. Plays a tap land. We draw even more lands. I mean, I guess we can play an Atlas? Oh, yeah. I think our opponent starts a tiny bit better than ours. Just a smidge. Yeah, so add Fiery Cannonade to the sideboard of this deck, because I don't think we ever beat tokens without it. And tokens is proving itself to be a pretty legit deck. Opponent, Conclave Tribunal, and we will scoop it up. We don't have an answer. It does not exist in our deck. All right, brutal, brutal, brutal. All right, much brew about nothing time. We are finding new ways to flood out with risky wizards in standard. And, yeah, all right. Well, the good news is we have Chart a Course to discard away some useless lands, which we have many of. Watery Grave, tapped. Opponent passes. Oh god, deck. Please, please, we only got 22 lands. Into more lands! Why? Magic gods, why? 1, 2, 3, 7. 7 of our top 10. Ugh. It should take us about 20 cards to draw 7 lands. Not 10. Fire Mines Research. Oh, Lord. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Land? It's land. Alright, land number 8. 8 of 11. Breaking all records here on Much Abrew About Nothing. Magic Gods hating us, hating us, hating us. Well, pass the turn. Opponent takes 4. Predictably, with risk factor. Mountain for our opponent. And passes. Number 9. There it is, number 9. Place all for falls. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 8, 9. 9 of 12. In our 22 land deck. Watery Grave. Tapped. Opponent. Passing. Well, can we make it 10 of 13? No. What's going on, deck? What's going on? You trying to mana screw us? Alright. Well, we hit a couple non-lands, which is encouraging considering we don't really have lands left in our deck. We Dragonauts. Pass the turn. Opponent, Lightning Strikes. Sure. Land for our opponent. Another Fire Mines Research. That's a lot of researches. Well, play the land. Play Arclight Phoenix. Opponent has Ionize. Counters on Fire Mines Research. Ugh. Alright, pass the turn. Opponent. Passing. 4 cards in hand. Well, let's play an Opt. Land to the bottom. Play Chart a Course. Opponent, Sinister Sabotage. Well, play Risk Factor. Discard the land. Whew! Every counter and then some. Well, we get back Arclight Phoenix. But our opponent has 2 very active Fire Mines Researches. Get in, hit our opponent. Down to 13. Pass the turn. Dragon Skull Summit. Opponent. Expansion, Explosion. Kills our Arclight Phoenix. Draw some cards. Come on, spells. Alright, well, play Adliz. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Down to 11. Play Electromancer. Play Chart a Course. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. Our opponent can start killing our stuff with Fire Mines Researches. What do you got, opponent? Kills Adliz. And passing. Well, play Lava Runner. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Down to 7. Well, pass the turn. Okay. Well, this is time to Risk Factor. Target our opponent. Lets us draw. Risk Factor. Discard Sulfur Falls. Opponent lets us draw. Alright. Alright. Opponent gets some cards. But they are under a lot of pressure, and we just Risk Factored like crazy. Okay. Can you answer everything, opponent? Kills Electromancer. Uh-huh. Opponent needs so many answers, though. Plays a land. 4 cards in hand. And passes. We draw. Risk Factor? Mountain. Well, play Lava Runner. Play Adliz. Opponent found a mission briefing. Mill some lands. Targets Sinister Sabotage. Alright, counters. Leaves a card on top. Well, we go to combat. Hit our opponent to 3. Play Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent's got to answer a lot of things. They're getting to the point where they can't take a hit from anything. Radical idea. Pumps the Fire Mines Researches. Draws a card. Shock. Yup. Counters on Research. Watery Grave. Tapped. Opponent. Passing. We draw. Steam Vents. Well, let's Radical Idea. Play Adliz. Go to combat. Attack. Kills Adliz. Attack our opponent. Radical Idea. Draws a card. Opponent down to 1. Play Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. They do have a Fire Mines Research for removal. Finds an Opt. Alright. Can we get in this last point of damage? Leaves a card on top. Ugh. Opponent. Kills our Lava Runner. Search for his Kanta. 1 card in hand. Opponent. Passing. We draw. Radical Idea. That's not bad. So let's Radical Idea. Draw a card. This is going to let us get back both Arclight Phoenixes. I think we got there. Is our opponent going to counter? They do. Okay. But opponent's out of cards, so we should still have the win. Devious Cover Up to shuffle some stuff back in. That's spicy. Well, let's Radical Idea. Discard a land. Alright. Play the island. Play Arclight Phoenix. And this should get the job done. Oh boy, that was close. We started with the Flood and managed to just barely sneak it out over this control deck. Good lord. Whew. Okay. Well, we want our own Fire Mines researches. We want our negates, I think. What do we not want? That is always the harder question. Maybe we gotta go down the ops and go down maybe a couple of Electromancers. Yeah, let's try it like that. Man, that was close. We did sneak out the win, though. It was definitely not easy, but we did get it done. Ugh. Alright. 1 land. Not gonna do it. Alright. Well, I don't think we want another Wee Dragonauts. Dragon Skull Summit for our opponent. And passes. Well, Steam Vents tapped. We got a lot of hasty flyers. I don't know how many of them will actually resolve, but opponent, Steam Vents, and passes. Well, Solver Falls go. I mean, I guess we just start casting things and hoping. Radical Idea for our opponent. We didn't draw any of our sideboard cards that are specifically good in this matchup. Opponent, Mountain. Well, haha, gotcha! Our hand is so bad that we have no spells. The upside of this clunky draw. Ooh, lordy. Oh, God. Well, opponent gains some information. Passes. We draw land. We'll play the island, and yeah, I mean, run out Adliz. Opponent. Lets it resolve. Oh, we go to combat. We attack. Ooh, opponent takes it. Okay. Well, maybe our opponent's hand's not that great either. Radical Idea. Discards Fire Mines research. Interesting. That is surprising to me. Steam Vents tapped. Opponent. Passing. I'll play the Mountain, and yeah, run out Arclight Phoenix. Or attempt to. Alright, opponent has Syncopate. Well, we go attacking. Hit our opponent. Down to 14. I cannot believe our opponent discarded a Fire Mines research. They could have just cast it. That is very surprising to me. Watery Grave. Tapped. Opponent. Passing. I'll play the Mountain. Get in with Adliz. Hit our opponent. Down to 12. Play Dragonauts. Opponent lets it go. Alright. Kills Dragonauts. Okay. Not going to spend our negate yet. Sulfur Falls. Opponent. Passing. I'll go to combat. Get in with Adliz. Hit our opponent. Down to 10. Chart a course. Maybe this Adliz is just going to go the whole way. Ionize. Okay, we'll let it go. Steam Vents tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent's down to 2 cards. And we do have a negate left over. Dragon Skull Summit. Still 2 cards. Opponent. Fiery Cannonade. Alright, Adliz down. 1 card. Opponent passes. Well, let's just Arclight Phoenix. Devious Cover Up. Okay. Opponent's out of cards, though, and we have a negate to cover their next thing. And, most importantly, we found our risk factor, which is going to be pretty good here. So opponent shuffles stuff back in. We just got to use this negate wisely. Opponent, what do you got? What do you draw? Fire Mines Research. I think we let that go. It's so slow to get going. Opponent, passing. Well, we will risk factor. Opponent takes it to 6. We pass the turn. Opponent draws. And passes. Well, we will risk factor. Discard the mountain. Play Sulphur Falls. Play Lava Runner. Go. Oh, we can't attack. All right, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Firemind's Research, number 2. Okay. Opponent passing. Well, let's chart a course. Pre-combat. Discard and negate. Play the island. Play Arclight Phoenix. Go attacking. Hit our opponent down to 1. Pass the turn. We have Wizard's Lightning in hand. We have Negate in hand. And I think we're going to grind out the win. Risk Factor coming through, and opponent scoops it up. Risk Factor good enough there. All right. That was... Man, Risk Factor is so funny. It is either insane or horrible. There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground with Risk Factor. All right, we'll take it. We'll take the win. Sweet. All right. Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are playing some risky wizards, and... no... I think we got a mulligan that one. Aye. Okay. Now, there's a steam fence. So, Island go. This is still a bit awkward. Our first hand had a lot of power, but we didn't have anything to do on the first 2 turns of the game. Mountain for our opponent. Well, steam vents, untapped. Lava Runner. Pass the turn. Opponent. Mountain. Runaway Steamkin. Unfortunately, we don't have an answer for that at the moment. Sulphur Falls. Well, play Radical Idea. Draw a card. Play Sulphur Falls. Play Get to Lava Runner. Pass the turn. Mountain for our opponent. Lava Runner grows the Steamkin. A Lightning Strike grows the Steamkin. Kill. Wow, goes to our face. Okay. Well, that's not good. Opponent gets in. Yeah. We take it. We're down to 12. All right. That is the worst draw. Lava Runner Tron. Well, play Arclight Phoenix. Get in with Arclight Phoenix. Pass the turn. Ay, ay, ay. Talk about awkward. Opponent. Wizard's Lightning. Oh, yeah. Going face, down to 9. Turns on their Lava Runner. Full-powered Steamkin. Attacks with both. I mean, we'll block, but we're not winning this one. Oh, Lord. Well, maybe Risky Wizards is just a bad version of Experimental Red. Because this is the second time we've gotten absolutely dominated by this deck. Opponent. Kills our Arclight Phoenix. Oh, so much burn. Firebrand. Opponent. Passes. I mean, play Adliz. Play Lava Runner. Pass the turn. We're just going to have to do massive chump blocking, which is not ideal. Opponent. Chain Whirler. Yeah, that's also not ideal. Down to 4. Firebrand kills Adliz, and yeah, that does it. All right. Whew! Yeah, we do not beat this deck. We have not had even a little smidge of luck beating this red deck. I feel like maybe I like the idea of this Wizards deck, but I'm not sure about the execution of this Wizards deck. I feel like the execution's not quite there. I feel like instead of so many useless card draw spells, we need more burn spells. Or maybe the Arclight Phoenix is for burn spells. Something to have more direct damage. Because we actually haven't done that good of a job pressuring our opponent's face, which has been a little bit of a disappointment. Let's go down the Arclight Phoenixes, up to Beacon Bolts, up to Crackling Drakes. Also, we'll need Fiery Cannonade in the sideboard. Like 100,000%. I feel like Wizard still has potential, but I'm not sure if the exact build really has what it takes. Maybe risk factors like Delver, where it's good when our opponents play it, but not good when we play it. That's the other possibility. Seriously, though, not having Lightning Strike makes me want to puke. We Dragonauts also just dies a lot. Alright, we get to play first. Ugh. I guess we got a mulligan. Alright. Well, this hand gives us the opportunity to try to be aggressive. This red deck looks very scary. Opponent tanking it up. Goes to 6. Radical idea to the bottom. Well, Steam Vent's untapped. Play a Lava Runner. Pass the turn. Mountain for our opponent. And passes. Play the land. Get in with Lava Runner. Hit our opponent. Yep. Down to 19. Chart a course. Draw 2. And pass the turn. Or runaway Steamkin. Well, that's fine. We can kill that. So Steam Vents. Untapped. Kill Steamkin. Play Lava Runner. Go attacking. Pass the turn. We've gotten off to a lot better start this game. Chain Whirler for our opponent. Yup. Well, let's opt. Radical idea to the bottom. Another island. Opponent passes. Well, play Electromancer. Chart a course. Discard Steam Vents. Play Sulphur Falls. Chart a course. Discard the land. Pass the turn. Yeah, can't go attacking here. Lightning Strike, or Wizard's Lightning would be good. Vashino Pyromancer for our opponent. Yep, down to 13. Opponent passes. Well, let's risk factor. Opponent takes it. Pass the turn. Wizard's Lightning our face. Down to 10. Pyromancer. Down to 8. Yup. Opponent. No attacks. Well, let's risk factor. Discard Dragonauts. Alright, we get to draw some cards. That's good. Ooh, Beacon Bolt. That's also good. Well, play the land. Play Adliz. Beacon Bolt Chain Whirler. Pump the Dorks. Chain Whirler down. Go attacking. Opponent's got to block with at least 1. Or have removal. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Just trying to stay alive. Down to 5. Alright, what do you got, opponent? What do you got? What do you got? Lightning Strike. Man, if they go Lightning Strike off the top and we lose, oh, it's going to be so sad. Please not that. Opponent. They get it over. Scoops it up. Alright. Whoo! We got to win against this deck, which seems like it rarely happens. Okay. We're on the draw. Yeah, run it like that. Alright, we gotta try it. How fast of a start does our opponent get? Well, Steam Vent's tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Mountain Steamkin. Alright. Well, play Sulphur Falls. Chart a course. Discard Radical Idea. Pass the turn. This gives us some chance of Beacon Bolting Steamkin. Lava Runner. Grow Steamkin. Ugh. Lightning. That's not what we wanted to see. Now Steamkin is too big for us to kill this turn. Opponent gets in, hits us. Down to 14. We'll play the island, play Electromancer. Play Lava Runner. Get in for 2. Pass the turn. Mountain for our opponent. Lightning Strike. Taking down Electromancer. Yeah, we're going to lose to this Steamkin. Opponent gets in. Hits us. Down to 8. Chart a course. Well, cast Chart a course. Discard Risk Factor. Play Lava Runner. Steam Vents. Tapped. Pass the turn. We've had to put so much work into turning this Beacon Bolt on that we're just way too far behind. Ugh. We gave it a good shot, but... Opponent. Lightning Strike. Kills our blocker. Yep. Gets in. Well, I mean, we block. We drop to 4. Removes the counters. Diamond Mare. And Pyromancer. Alright. Down to 2. Opponent passes. Well, play Electromancer. Kill the Steamkin. A little too late. Little too late with the killing of Steamkin, and now we're dead to essentially any card in our opponent's deck. Haste creature, direct damage, pyromancer, pretty much anything. The bigger problem is we're dead to it for a very long time. We need our opponent to whiff for a lot of turns in a row. Opponent attacks. We will block pyromancer. Drop to 1. And risk factor. Alright. Risk factor looking good for our opponent. Opponent draws 4. Plays a land. Lava Runner gains a life. Risky Wizards. Steam Vents. Well, I mean, we can chart a course, but there's nothing we can draw into. Alright, and we scoop it up. Well, that's Risky Wizards. Seems like a deck with potential that is just not quite there as far as being competitive. So what do we learn this week about risky Izzet Wizards in Standard? And all in all, we finished with a 2-3, which is not an exciting record in a league. We did lose twice to the mono red deck, which that feels like a matchup that we're not going to win. They're just faster and more consistent than we are. On the other hand, we were able to beat both of the control decks we played, and then we did lose to tokens. So kind of very mixed results for the deck. My overall feeling of the deck is that Wizards have some potential, but that this exact build maybe isn't 100% where it needs to be. So I was not very impressed with Arclight Phoenix. That card felt pretty bad to me. So I feel like we probably don't need that. And then I also felt like we were a little bit fluffy. Like we have Weed Dragonauts and Adliz. Those are our big payoffs, but then we just have a ton of these random card draw spells. Ops and Chart a Course and Radical Ideas. So I feel like maybe for Wizards to be successful, we need to cut back on the fluff a little bit. We can still have Atlas, maybe still some Weed Dragonauts, but play more like Vashino Pyromancers, play some Lightning Strikes, more ways to really damage our opponent's face, because the problem we ran into is all of our card draw spells just didn't do much unless we had the Atlas or the Weed Dragonauts, and for our namesake risk factor to be successful and really effective, we need to be able to pressure our opponent's life total. So we had a lot of games where we'd play a threat, the threat would get killed, we'd spend a couple turns just like casting card draw spells, not really developing our board, not getting closer to making risk factor good, and by the time we had another threat again, we were already too far behind. So I feel like a more aggressive version of Wizards is probably going to be a little bit more successful. Vashino Pyromancers, Lightning Strikes, get rid of the Phoenixes, maybe get rid of Electromancers as well, cut back on some of the extra card draw spells, replace them with more direct damage bird spells. So I feel like maybe that's the direction that the Wizard deck needs to go, because risk factor, it was very swingy, it was very hit or miss. We saw against the red decks, it wasn't very good, because we'd get off on a back foot, our opponent would be pressuring us, and we would try to take a turn to cast risk factor, and our opponent would just be like, sure, whatever, we'll take 4, and then we'll kill you on the backswing. So that was a big issue. On the other hand, against the control decks, risk factor was like our best card, and it was so powerful. So I feel like risk factor is a deserving part of this deck, and can be very good in the deck, but that the deck itself needs to be rebuilt. I also was not super impressed with the sideboard. Crackly Drake, I'm really not sure what the purpose of that is in the sideboard. Beacon Bolt is good, but as a 4 of, it might be a little bit too much. So I feel like the sideboard could be improved. It definitely needs Fiery Cannonade in the sideboard, because we're pretty close to drawing dead against the token deck. Like, we could get really lucky, I guess, and have like a nutty Adliz draw and just pump our stuff and get the lucky kill that way. But for the most part, we're going to lose to Selesnya tokens, because our 1-for-1 removal doesn't do anything, and we're not fast enough. And then we did struggle against the red deck as well, although against the red deck, if we replace some of our fluffy card draw, like Radical Ideas, with more shocks and more Lightning Strikes, we might just swing the matchup naturally by being able to deal with our opponent's creatures, having more real cards in our deck. So I feel like overall, risky Izzet Wizards is close to being good. We definitely learned some things about the archetype, like Art Like Phoenix, that was pretty bad, we don't want it. The deck needs more damage, more removal, probably less card draw, less on the combo-y, like this build, if we get down a Goblin Electromancer, along with maybe a Lava Runner, and then play an Atlas, and then untap with all of our stuff, we can have incredible turns where we're like, Chart a Course, Radical Idea, Opt, pump our team really huge, Wizards Lightning, kill you in one big turn. So that is something that can happen, but we're kind of like built like a 5-card combo deck where we need a whole bunch of stuff to go right, when being a more consistent, more burn heavy, more damage focused build would probably help in some of our worst matchups, and having more direct damage would help make risk factor better, because that's where you need to be with risk factor. It's either the best card in our deck or the worst card in our deck, but to make it the best card in our deck as often as possible, we need to just pile on as much damage as possible, and this is a pretty slow build of wizards. Like Electromancer, slow. Dragonauts, we gotta untap with it, it's slow. Adliz is powerful, but we don't really have that many wizards for it to pump, so it's kind of just a big prowess thing with maybe a little bit of upside. So what I'm trying to say with all this rambling is, I feel like this build of Wizards isn't quite exactly where it needs to be. However, I think that Wizards can be improved, maybe not to tier 1 status, but better by some rebuilding, some changes, improving the sideboard, taking out some of the worst cards, adding in some better cards. So I put together another list. If you are interested, make sure to follow the article link down below. Check out what I would play if we were running risky Izzet Wizards again, using what we learned from playing this deck and kind of the weaknesses of this build. So make sure to check that out if you're interested. Maybe we'll try it again in the future. Anyway, Wizards is fun. I feel like it's close, but it's a tricky tribe. Izzet is a hard one. It is a hard guild to build, to get the mixture right of card draw and threats and removal and burn. So it's very difficult compared to some of the more straightforward guilds where you're just like, I play really good cards every turn. So I feel like maybe with some careful building, some work, we can get to a really good and hopefully fairly budget-friendly Blue-Red Wizards deck. So if you have some ideas, let me know. Anyway, that's been our Much Abrew for this week. Risky Izzet Wizards for Standard. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.